Hey, everybody. Kevin here with Pursuing Pixels, and welcome back to another edition of Save It for the Cast. And we'll be chatting with John, Randall, and I talking about some video game stuff and even some just getting old stuff once the episode kind of gets going after the music kicks in here. But as always, I'm going to kind of take a little time here to spotlight a few games that I've been playing lately because I'm always just playing so much. And as always as well, the timestamps in the episode description will have links to the videos if there is an associated video kind of gameplay of it where I kind of get into the action. But I did want to give a shout out to a game from Eggnog Games called Leaving the Tree, and they were actually generous enough to send us this physical copy version of the game. You can get like a $10 version. It's a little kind of single screen precision platformer made in the Love 2D engine. And man, speaking of love, like this physical package is the game itself is really put together with so much love. A guy kind of didn't finish saying that. It's like a single screen precision platformer that's just super cute, has some really great chip tunes, and you basically play as a seed that's trying to collect the little water droplets to re-water the tree that you leave from in the beginning. And I think there's a decent amount of stages, and they're all like single screen kind of arcadey platformer stages. And yeah, I've just been really, really impressed with that one and beyond impressed with this physical package. I think it's like a $20 package. Again, they sent it over to us after we played some of their Pico 8 games, Meowlionaire in particular. We got really sucked into it, and they were like, hey, do you want to check out my game Leaving the Tree? And I said, sure, if you want to send it over. And yeah, again, like the package is like loaded up, like the game itself is on like a wooden USB stick. It comes with like stat cards for each enemy in the game, or kind of like a little like description card for each enemy in the game, like postcards, stickers. Like the package is just unbelievable. It's really something special if you're somebody who collects video games in any capacity, and it's actually my first physical copy of a PC game in really any real way. I've always been a console gamer, so yeah, I just really wanted to give a shout out to that game because it's just unbelievable. And I know that the developer of Eggnog Games is equally as excited as I am about the new development duo of Punk Cake Delicio, which we're actually going to have. We're not always going to do these save it for the cast episodes on the off weeks. We're sometimes going to have some interviews, and we have one coming up with Remy DeVoe of Punk Cake Delicio. They are one half of the development team over there, and their first game was Antecrypt. They're doing a Patreon where they release a game every month, and I cannot stop playing Antecrypt, and that was the only game out at the time that we talked to them, but they just released Metavax, which is their new game. It's kind of like a top-down. Both their games are kind of top-down shooters, but Antecrypt is like a twin stick shooter, except you actually don't control the right stick. Like your cursor actually just moves around at its own free will and kind of bounces off the walls like an old school screensaver would. And you just have to kind of like, it's all about positioning and where you are and firing. And then that also, you have to be near the cursor to recharge your ammo. It's kind of like battery powered. It's just a really, really cool game. And then this Metavax game that just came out, I haven't played it just yet, but it's going to be like a Minesweeper shoot 'em up combination. So I'm really excited to dig into that. And the conversation that I had with Remy was really, really fun. Just a really, really nice person. And can't wait to see what those two, them and Benjamin Soule, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's the other half of the development team at Punk Cake. And yeah, I guess you'll hear more about it in a couple weeks. That episode should be coming up shortly. And then I just wanted to give, shout out to two other games real quick. We've mentioned our pal Securus a few times on the podcast, and I just finally played Daisy Dangerous, which is actually kind of like an homage, if you will, or like a love letter to an old game called Rick Dangerous, which I'm not familiar with, but I know that Securus kind of said this is kind of like a alpha prototype demo. But other than the fact that it's like a single stage, essentially, that took me almost an hour to beat this stage. But it does feel like the demo for like more of a game that could be there. And I really hope, I don't know if Securus is planning on developing this further, but it is a really tightly designed, just kind of action, retro, run and gun platformer, but like you're running and gunning, like you do have ammo and bombs, like you got to keep track of how much ammunition you have. Just gets a little bit strategic, and there's like just enough randomization to keep you on the edge of your seat, even though there is quite a bit of that kind of retro memorization that I sometimes bounce off of. But this is like this really got me in the zone, and I've been wanting to play it for a while, and for whatever reason, it wouldn't run on my computer, and I actually reinstalled Windows recently, and got anything that used to not run before is now running just fine. And then the last game I wanted to mention real quick is a game called Annalynn, which I found thanks to Derek Yu's Steam curator page. Derek Yu's the game designer of Spelunky, if you're not familiar. Annalynn is basically like a 2D platformer. It's kind of like a combination of like so many different retro 80s arcade games like Pac-Man, the Donkey Kong Jr. games. Like it has the ropes you can climb, it has like kind of these snakes that chase you around, but they're very similar to how the ghosts behave in Pac-Man, and you basically just collect all the pellets on each stage, and it's more of like a side-scrolling platformer, and it does go beyond single screen, like you're sometimes scrolling to the side. And it's just got so much charm. It's just a blast. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just arcade platforming, but it's just got everything that you want from that. Like it gives you all the retro feels without feeling like it's just ripping off everything, even though I did kind of just compare it to like say, oh, it's just basically a combination of these other games, but it's done so well. It's another love letter to kind of that retro era. But I did just want to mention real quick too, I know we mentioned a while back that we were gonna launch the Patreon and the potentially like Ko-fi page or coffee page, however you say it. The Patreon should be coming soon, and the Ko-fi or coffee is actually live already. And we've actually raised a really nice amount already. We've almost covered all of our hosting costs, or at least half of our hosting costs for the last couple of years of hosting the podcast. So really, really excited about that, to have that going. Really all there is now as a reward is you get like you become a Pixel Cafe member in the Discord. But other than that, there's nothing really that goes along with that. We really want to try our best to like not do any gating off. We might like do things where there's like an episode early, or figure out ways to get like videos out early to people that are subscribing on Patreon, but really, and maybe some voting stuff like that, like voting on which games we cover on the YouTube channel, or even here on the podcast potentially. But yeah, we really don't want to get into the territory of like having bonus episodes that are gated off or anything like that. We want to make sure that everything we're doing is available to everyone. But yeah, if we can do something cool, like offer you stuff early, or ways to vote on what we cover maybe, or things that you can suggest to us. We definitely want to have some cool perks, but we also want to make sure that nobody is left out if they're not able to contribute financially, because I definitely know how that goes. So anything helps as always, but definitely don't feel the need to contribute, because even just listening to the show and spreading the word is a huge help in every capacity. So thanks for tuning in as always, and we'll get into the video games chat and a little bit about turning into old geezers here. But let's talk about some video games, and yeah. But yeah, he's making some kind of shmup pinball boss battle game. It looks crazy.
Awesome.
It looks really cool. Yeah, it's definitely like looks a little stiff. Like you can tell it's in development, but you can also tell like this guy knows what he's doing. Like he's polishing this up. So
yeah, making pinball mechanics as an indie developer seems like a tall task.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Does not seem.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah,
just pure physics.
Man, thinking back to Game Boy Color, like, did you guys ever play the game Warlocked? It was my first real-time strategy experience, actually, and it's a fucking Game Boy Color game, and it's good. Like,
nice.
It's basically
real-time
taking
strategy?
like Warcraft or Warcraft 2 and like diluting it down to play on Game Boy Color, essentially, and it's fun.
What is it called?
Warlocked.
Like 2 words or 1 word?
1 word.
Like, 'cause at first I was thinking like a warlock, but
Yo,
I think it's
I've seen people post pictures of this before. Man, that's also
it's good. I still own it. Yeah.
God.
I'm like, and that like introduced me to that whole genre of RTS games, and it plays on Game Boy Color. I remember playing it on vacations and stuff.
That's awesome.
Bits Studios. Let's see what they made. Chase.
Who's it by?
Bits Studios with a. Oh no, it's No Z, I thought it was. They did Terminator 2 Judgment Day for the Game Boy, R-Type for the Game Boy, Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the Game Boy.
Okay.
Gun Force for Super NES. Last Action Hero for Game Boy, Game Gear, Mega Drive, Genesis. Man. R-Type 2 for Game Boy. Space
really
Football 1-on-1 for Super NES. Alien for Game Boy. This rules.
1-on-1.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for the Mega Drive.
Oh man, they were definitely getting some like, hey, we made this game on NES. Can you make a Game Boy version?
Yeah, can you port it, please?
The Itchy and Scratchy game for Super NES.
Oh, okay. Step up for them.
Die Hard Vendetta. Man, yeah, and the last game they made was Payout Poker and Casino for the PSP in 2006.
Eek.
They did do Rogue Ops. Man, I haven't heard that.
That's a GameCube game.
Yeah, it was a GameCube, PS2, Xbox, Chemco.
That was a launch GameCube game, right?
Pretty early, anyway.
Or Rogue Squadron or something.
That's a different game, yeah. Rogue Squad.
Yeah.
Rogue Leader was.
Chemco is still around? Mobile games, that would make sense. Okay.
Yeah.
It's always how it goes.
Going the Konami route.
Yeah. I was like, that's a name I haven't heard in decades. But yeah, Warlocked is like, I think their only maybe original game?
That wouldn't surprise me. It's good.
Yeah.
They deserved another shot because it's a good game.
Yeah. Well, they probably honed their chops, making like just because all those games had to get cranked out usually. Yeah. So
if you're putting out like 30 games over like as many years.
Well, and when they're like movie tie-ins, they're usually trying to get those out.
You put your hours in.
We got 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get the quick buck off of the game tie-in to the new release.
Yeah.
Man.
Game Boy Color is awesome. It's sad that it only got like 2 or 3 years of life before GBA came out and no, you're done.
Yeah.
But it was great.
But thankfully Game Boy Advance was also awesome.
Yeah, and that got cut short by DS similarly.
Okay, but
yeah.
Also the Game Boy Color was only $70.
Wow.
When it came out,
introductory price $69.99.
God damn.
Wow.
I remember my aunt bought me one and I was like blown away that she spent so much money on me. So that makes a little more sense that it was that affordable.
I had the exact same experience, but with my grandparents. Because my grandma was like, all these new Game Boy games say only plays on Game Boy Color. And she's like, so we got you a Game Boy Color. And I was like,
hell
this is the best.
Yes. You've improved my life significantly.
Yeah.
That's great.
Heck yeah.
It sounded like it was the worst quality iPhone recording of the guest that they had on. And normally I don't think I'm a snob about those sorts of things, but we were Lauren and I were 5 minutes in and we just kind of looked at each other as we can't listen to this. It's that was the first time that I was like, man, this is just such a huge gap in quality. And then I checked the podcast feed and they put a bonus episode out immediately after that one, and I was like, oh, they know. Ooh, they knew that was just not but it was a guest thing. It wasn't their recording. So
yeah,
they still got to try though.
Yeah, but it still sucks when it's sometimes you're in the position where the person you're recording with is just oh yeah, I'm just recording on my phone. But I'm just talking to you on my phone.
It sounded when how bad telephone call quality is now.
Yes,
it sounded worse than that. Okay. And I was like, how was this recorded?
Right. Yeah, how do you even get that poor of audio anymore?
Right.
With digital audio, how do you get that much fucking noise?
When
it's pretty hard to do.
When we do Discord, that's pretty decent quality, and like I'm just using like I'm literally using like iPhone headphones with like that microphone.
Yeah, Randall and I did we did a couple a long time ago, John, a couple streams, but yeah, Randall and I did that Wild Gun stream, and you were using the headset, and once I actually piped in the audio, it sounded pretty damn good.
Yeah,
you could
fine.
tell that I had a mic and you had a lower quality mic, but so what?
Yeah, it sounded fine.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like, I would never be like, oh, that's grating, I can't listen to that. Like, it fit right in.
It's so rare that that's the case. Like, because like I've definitely listened to like podcasts with huge gaps in audio quality from like a guest calling in, but it's never been to the point where it's like unlistenable up until that point.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Was it someone you wanted to listen to?
No,
as well.
It wasn't. It was like a new guest, and like, I don't know. It was just it was a bummer because I was just like, man, oh well, no episode this week, I guess.
Yeah,
except for the bummer.
That sucks. Yeah, when you have a weekly podcast, it always sucks when you're like, man.
Ooh, when did you shave?
Just the other day. Just the other day.
Not bad.
You see that chin?
Ooh, that's a chin.
Fresh.
That's a
looking fresh. We got a special guest on the podcast today, guys.
Mr. Smooth.
Call me fresh.
Spring
the other
dew
day,
there.
like this, since they've been working on my lower spine, I was feeling a little bit better. Although today I'm kind of out of whack, but more my stomach, I think. But I was like, I'm feeling a little better. I was like, I might as well shave this garbage off. Like, I look like a psychopath. Like, thankfully, I'm wearing a mask all the time, so it actually kind of looks like I have a full beard, But then I take it off, and I'm like all patchy and like, let me just rip this off.
I can't wait till I'm 50 and have a full beard.
When you say full beard,
What do
what
you
are we
mean?
talking here?
I mean, like I'm still pretty patchy, and like
Not that patchy.
Yours is thicker than mine, man.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I think like
Because mine is all on my neck. I get like nothing like on my cheeks, really. I get it all like chin and neck.
it's that little area like right here. Like I don't know if I had the goatee when I was on like one of the calls, but that was when I figured out that I like still have like massive amounts of patch because like I was shaving it and I was like, why is this so asymmetrical? And I realized it's like, oh yeah, because like one side is just way more full than the other, and like I can't do a goatee because like it's like the tiniest thin line. It's like a 1 point line tool on MS Paint, and the other one is like a rectangle.
Oh man, I see what you're saying though. You'd have more of like a soul patch right here as opposed to like a fully connected
right because
piece.
Like Mikey has like since I've known him has had like just a full like uniform like
just a piece of carpet just right over his face, just like perfect.
Like that's a
Most of us
man.
don't get that.
Yeah, it's like perfectly groomed. Like it looks like gruff and tough, but also soft and
Oh yeah,
it's a nice beard. It's a nice beard.
That's great.
But yeah, Randall, you've got a normal beard.
I mean,
you trim it like you shave
it was
the mustache.
patchy. Yeah, I never go with the mustache, but like it was patchy for a long time, and I just forced it I willed it into being basically over years. Like, I will have a beard face. It's going to happen. I don't care if it's
I like
patchy.
having a little bit of scruff.
Have you ever grown a
Yeah.
mustache,
Something.
Randall?
No.
Is it just itchy or don't like the way it feels?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I just like, maybe because my dad always had a mustache, so I'm like, I got to have my own thing here. I don't know.
The inverse?
I just couldn't quite go for the mustache along with it.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely another reason that I shaved, because I definitely was starting to like bite my mustache when I was eating.
Dude.
Like it was getting long enough to where
I
it
know
was
that
like
feeling.
Yeah.
But I also love playing with it, so it's like
Same.
I think I just need to fucking cut it off, so I stop, because I think my neck's getting tight because I'm like fucking playing with it, my lips all the time. It's so it's dumb, but I'm doing it. Like I know, like I can feel those muscles moving, so like I know I'm doing it.
I'm looking at buying one of these like apparently, like Kevin Durant's been using one of these muscle massager things to like get himself going. Like he has it on the sidelines at games and stuff.
What is it? Is it which one is it?
I was just looking at the product and I'm like, man, like for as often as I need to go to like medical massage, I think it's time for me to like pony up for one of those.
But is it like just a roller, or is it a mechan or an electronic thing?
It's like an electronic like gun thing that just like smashes into your muscle like at high velocity.
I'm not mad about that. Just shoot me with that thing.
Basically, yes. That's what I'm looking for. Hypervolt. Yeah. That's what it is.
That would be nice. I mean, even if you still had to like go for the massages, but just a quarter as often or something like that, and you could just do it from home.
The idea would be like getting one of these so I'm not in like agony between appointments, and like when I actually go, it would actually be useful and not like they're massaging a rock.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. You're tenderizing the meat a little bit before.
Yes.
Right.
A little pre-application.
Yeah, you're just kind of, especially when you get into like your routine, it's like you just go a week and then you go into your whatever massage or whatever appointment, and it's just kind of resetting. Like you're not really improving each time.
No, not really.
Yeah.
Not enough anyway.
Status quo.
Yeah.
I got some like cheesy mental transitions in my head for some of these crossovers too. Love it.
Wonderful.
Love it.
It's on brand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're the best. Not the best, but they can be. Should we knock out some claps and then get rolling?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm gonna have to listen to that track after we're done recording. That's gonna be stuck in my head now.
It's a good fucking song. Like the rest of the album, not as high as that one.
Yeah.
But
what are they called again? Ministry of
something. Well, now Mad Lib is my recently played. Oops.
I was gonna say Ministry of Synthesis, but that's that game
Souls
with the
of
wave
Mischief.
synth. Souls of Mischief. Okay. That's like such a generic 90s artist name. Like it could be that could totally be a grunge band. It could be anything you want it to be. That's pretty great. All right, so claps on my end I'm just hitting 44 minutes.
Oh, we haven't clapped yet, buddy.
That's true.
I'm at 43.
I should write it down after. We clap.
It's aspirational.
Yeah, exactly. It's like usually 10 minutes later. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Shibuya.
Boom. 1, 2, 3.
Money.
Oh, yeah, baby. I duffed mine, but again, as long as we got the tap, we're good. Cool. Should we just roll right in, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yes.
Cool. Anybody need like a rundown or anything before we start? Of like everything we're talking, or
Nah. Surprise me.
wing it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Nice. I might semi-spring something on you at the end, Randall.
That's fine.
Not spring. We've talked about it, but it'll just be a tease for a potential future thing that we should sync on.
I'm good on that.
If you're comfortable with that.
Yep.
Like literally not a tease like, hey, next week, Randall.
Ruining the tease. It's no longer sprung.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just meaning not necessarily next week.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Anytime I'm saying something on the spot, it means, I mean, you guys know how I handled my resolution game, last fucking second. So even today I was in the Paradigm Discord and I was like, hey, looking for recommendations. What should I check out? And Paradigm was like Hyperlight Drifter. And I was like, that's my resolution game for 2021. Like, it wasn't like it clicked in my brain like, oh, great idea. It was like, no. I got 9 more months to play that game.
That's for September.
It did not even register for a second to play it. It was like, oh yeah, that's one for sure not to play for now. Save it for later. I gotta savor that one.
That's right.